We're at the very edge of China right now. This is one of the last cities, a very remote one called Erlian. Right now in the city center, only about a couple of kilometers away from the Mongolian border. So we came here on a long 24-hour train journey. It was 2 different trains from Beijing to here.
It started at 6 o'clock in the evening, and then we finally made it here at next day 6:45 in the evening.
So once we got here, I mean the train journey itself wasn't any different from the ones we had already documented on our channel before. So we chose to just sleep it out on the train because we knew we'll go totally wonky if we don't get any sleep at all. But after 4 noodle bowls, a couple of chips packets, tea, we finally made it to Erlian. And this town is super small. It's very small.
And this town is so different from all the other towns we've been in China. In all the other towns and cities, you would see high, tall buildings and busy streets. This town is so quiet. It feels like it's deserted.
Yeah, I mean by comparison standards, but there are a few skyscrapers here and there. There are a few tall buildings here and there, but for the most part, everything that's fancy or busy is basically on this one road that we are walking on right now. But we are staying in a hotel just off the city center in the northern corner because we thought that would be close to the border, and we've been understanding that it could get a bit complicated tomorrow while crossing the border. So we still haven't figured it out entirely.
By the way, today is World Navneet Day. It's Navneet's birthday. And he's celebrating it in one of the most remote towns somewhere in the middle of the Gobi Desert. How does it feel?
We are at the very edge of the Gobi Desert indeed. And it's really nice actually. The wind is blowing like crazy, which is such a stark contrast to what we experienced in Chongqing and even other parts of the country where it was so hot, there's no wind.
Like our umbrellas don't stay up even for a second, and then when we are walking, the wind is just pushing us. Navneet is just flying in the air on his birthday.
She's just exaggerating, but yeah, I turn a whole year older and
a whole year crazier.
Anyways, we didn't do much for the birthday. We're just hanging out here. Like some of you who actually remember it from the celebrations in the last 3 years, we've documented every one of these birthdays on the road. I think the first year in season 1 we were in Sikkim in India. The second one was
we got that really tiny cake.
That one. And then the second one was we were in Tajikistan on the Pamir highway, where all of our road trip buddies who were on the same shared 4x4 with us, nobody cared. But we still managed to have fun in, again, a very remote place. It was
on that birthday we were having noodles, and I think this birthday also will be having noodles.
Yeah, maybe something else. I'm actually very interested to have pizza today. It's been way too long.
Navneet has turned into a pizza boy.
Anyways, third birthday was in season 3. We were in Rwanda, in Kigali.
Yeah, having lots of Indian food.
Yeah, there were some very nice Indians who hosted us in their place, so it was very, very nice there as well.
I think in general most of our birthdays are just about eating nice food, eating a lot of food.
We try not to do a lot. Like even Shish's birthdays, you can go back and see. Season 1 we were in we were where? In Philippines? Yeah. No, Laos. In season 1 we were in Laos for Shish's birthday.
Yeah, jumping off into the blue lagoons.
Yeah, that was one nice experience. And then in season 2, we were in Georgia, hiking up a mountain on her birthday.
In autumn.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. Freezing cold, but still very beautiful. And season 3, we
was in Zambia, Lusaka, waiting for all our visas.
So that's typically the trend of birthdays we've had while traveling full time. Anyways, now the plan is to go looking for a pizza shop. What we've realized in the last 24 hours of being here is that places shut down very early in Erlian. It's like super quiet very quick. Such a stark contrast to the rest of China that we've seen. But right now, whatever we see is the busiest it can get. Nothing else, nothing at all.
Oh, by the way, we just sent out our postcard to all our postcard club members. We got one postcard which depicts Erlian.
So if you're one of the postcard club members, it should hopefully reach you in about 2 weeks. This is also the first time we sent a postcard to our own selves, like to our own address. We have never actually done it before.
Yeah.
So it was fun to write it. Shish
It
wrote.
was a birthday postcard for Navneet. He still hasn't seen it, so when we go back home, it'll be a surprise.
I can imagine already what she would have written there. But anyways, now we're walking. Oh, somebody says hello. Hello. Okay. This part of China, it seems like people are a lot more friendly. And they've been like randomly waving out of cars to say hello.
Like just now, like we are walking on the side path, and then they're waving from inside their car.
Yeah,
it has
that-
happened so many times.
That hasn't happened in the other cities before.
Yeah.
And what we also learnt is Erenhot is one of the towns in Inner Mongolia, which is actually a very large province. And so Inner Mongolia is actually the Chinese side of the Gobi Desert, and Mongolia, the country, is just north of here. So together, all of this forms part of the Mongol region. So people here actually speak that language too. And what is really crazy is that we have been seeing many boards
Yeah.
which have like Cyrillic, like Russian. Many boards written in Russian here. Maybe because Mongolians, they use that script. I'm not too sure yet, but we're seeing that everywhere. Also, in other news, yes, I got a haircut.
Oh yeah. How does it look, by the way? Navneet's new haircut. It was my present for his birthday.
So Shish decided to give me a haircut. It was actually the third time she has given me a haircut. The last two of which were during our time in India, in Bangalore. So those are clearly experimental, but this is the first time I'm out here in public. So hopefully people don't make fun of it. There are a few uneven spots, it looks like, but for the
I
most
think it will get fine in 2 days.
part, it was a pretty decent job. So at least now there's one category of expenses that we can try and reduce. But I know Shish, she's gonna compensate for this by buying more coffee. So while looking at the map, we realized that this province of Inner Mongolia in China actually extends all the way from Kazakhstan on the west side to Russia in the northeast side, engulfing the whole of Mongolia in between. So that makes it actually one of the 3 or 4 longest provinces in this whole country, and easily should be about 2 or 3,000 kilometers wide. It's crazy. Almost looks like a little Mini Cooper. Pizza. Pizza.
Ordered a pizza and some French fries. I don't know what has happened to Navneet today. He's ordering my favorite items on his birthday. Pizza and fries.
Hot. Pretty nice. Not spicy, but actually very good.
It's so funny to see kids are wearing raincoats and then they're going below the fountain and playing in the water there. It's like they're prepared to have maximum fun.
It's really nice. That was a city square. It looked really beautiful.
It was so lively, like it's a weekday today.
Yeah.
Like we can expect such things to happen on weekends, but even on a weekday, people are just having fun.
The general vibe we've been getting so far in Erlian, Erenhot. They have 2 names for this place, it looks like. So the general vibe we've been getting here is that everything feels a bit less traditionally Chinese and a bit more Soviet. I'm not really sure if this had anything to do with the Soviet side of the world, because there's definitely a lot of language that is still used on the board, such as Cyrillic. But other than that, even the buildings look so different. Like it reminds us a lot of our time in Central Asia.
In this town, we see buildings which are like more geometrically shaped, like rectangles and squares. In all other cities in China, we have seen buildings with sloping roofs or tiled roofs. And things
Like the
that.
traditionally Chinese appearance.
Yeah.
Here we have barely come across even one building which is like that. Now it's around 7:45, nearly 8 p.m. But as you can see, it's still very, very bright. Sunset is taking a long time.
This town has a lot of small dogs everywhere. Like everyone seems to be walking with a small puppy.
Yeah, we see more dogs here than in other parts of China. So I don't know if it's a thing like that. We'll see more dogs as we go further up into Mongolia. We just expected to go out to the post office and then have something light to eat and then come back to the room in time for dinner. But looks like we've already walked about 12,000 steps.
Crazy.
And you might be wondering, why do the roads look like this behind us? Are we in some construction zone? Well, we realized after coming here that yes, like all of China's big cities seem so perfectly well developed, but then there are a few parts of the country that work is still in progress, and this is what it looks like.
This is the road to our hotel, and it's in the outskirts of the city, and that's why you see the roads are still under development. It's all mushy. It rained yesterday, and it's all chocolatey.
All of this is just mud. So the cars aren't really driving on this path, but there's also a very nice park here that we walked through in the afternoon.
I'm in the dark.
And they have this really cool Bactrian camel here. You know, the one with the double hump.
We just stocked up on some fruits and snacks because tomorrow is going to be a long day for us. And so far, in all of China, this is the cheapest supermarket we have found.
It's just a random family-run shop in the middle of nowhere.
It's right in front of an apartment building, so we get lots of customers. So I think that's why it's kept the prices really low.
I think that was it. It was a pretty short vlog. I'm sorry we didn't have more to show on this day, but we're very, very tired after a whole month in China. But it was a very, very fun experience at the same time.
I think this was the first time we have traveled so fast through a country. Like usually we spend a month in even small countries, and this time this China is so big, and
Yeah.
we have spent 30 days here.
It almost feels like trying to cover India in a month, which we know for sure won't happen because it's such a big country, and China by land size is even bigger than that. So it was obviously quite a strenuous journey.
All I want now is, I think we should just take 4 or 5 days off, not think about travel, planning the route, booking the stay, what to see.
Yeah.
We
So
just want some days rest.
hopefully we do get some downtime as we enter Mongolia. Tomorrow is a long border crossing day, and the reason why we're thinking it's going to be a long border crossing day is because this is one of the most remote border crossings in this part of the world.
I was just reading that the distance between the China border point and the Mongolian border point is 5 kilometers. That means 5 kilometers of no man's land.
So we absolutely have no clue how we'll get across, because this distance is not something that's easily walkable, especially in this summer heat. So
Yeah.
we'll have to figure out something tomorrow. If there's a lot of traffic and if you're able to hitchhike, then that's one thing. If you're not, then it's a whole other situation. So this is the hotel we are staying at.
And also, I think China has been our most expensive country till date.
Yeah, it was.
I think our daily budget has easily crossed $60 a day. more than that.
It really, really hurts. But we figured we are only here once, and it's very unlikely that we'll come to these parts of the country. Maybe in the future on the southern coast side towards
Yeah.
Hong Kong, because we haven't been that side either.
And if we get a 60-day visa, it will be much better for China.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go inside.
Well, this was our home in Erlian. It was nice and spacious. We even got to do laundry because we had the stand and we could use it well. We had the AC running so the clothes dried up super quickly. And we have this big window.
Well, the sun shines at
Oh,
4.
there's a moth.
The sun shines at 4:30 in the morning, right across those blinds. So we're usually awake quite early. Anyways, thanks you guys for exploring China with us. We'll definitely share more information about how the experience was, especially in terms of the cost on our website, nowandshish.com. We typically publish expense reports on there, so you could probably check it out. And we'll see you again in tomorrow's video. Hopefully this border crossing will not get too strenuous, and we'll see you again in the next country.
Bye.
We came to the post office to send postcards to our postcard club members. So it's so funny to read this line on the floor. It says, "Please wait outside a noodle." Don't wait in a line, you wait in a noodle.